switch back to the front camera. That's much better. You don't want to see my ugly mug on camera. I don't know what on earth is going on with people this morning. Just driving down one of the main roads back there. I wish I'd got it on camera, but some idiot in a Skoda Octavia estate decided to overtake this Jeep. Oof, chuffing hell, look at the crap that Tiguan's kicking out. Chuffing hell. Staying back from that a little bit. God. Stinky diesel. Bloody hell. Anyway, yeah, I decided to overtake this Jeep on a 30 bit of road. The Jeep were already doing 30 plus. And as he's overtaking him, he started fishtailing all over the place. He were doing it on purpose, just driving like side to side on purpose. So I don't know if the Jeep driver had done something to annoy him and pee him off or what, and he were purposely doing it. But then when we came round next corner, God knows where it had gone. It had just vanished. It weren't in front. I couldn't see it up any side streets. I don't know where on earth it had vanished to, but it had vanished. But yeah, I really wish I'd caught it on camera, because it were ridiculous how dangerous he were driving. Says me who's tailgating. Sorry Tiguan, I didn't, not meaning to tailgate you, just that you're going that bloody slow. Try and keep my distance because of the amount of crap you're kicking out. Well, it's the weekend again, guys. It's Friday. I'm driving to work, and then I'll be driving over to Becky's this afternoon. I'm thinking about how much there is with modern day cars that I absolutely hate. Just try and squeeze in between these two trucks, because of course, you know, people are trying to joint motorway, but do they move across? No. But yeah, just thinking about how much there is on modern day cars that I despise. I'll just shut my window so you can hear me better. Like, one of the main things, like with my job, some people know what my job is. Basically, I inspect vehicles when they come into the dealership that I work at. And if they need paint work, if they need alloy wheels refurbing, if they need interior trim repairing, if they need dints removing, that kind of thing, I organise it all. That is my job. I'm like the preparation manager, so to speak. But I also run the valet bay as well. So I get the cars cleaned and valeted, and I also photo the cars as well. So I'm also the photographer. So there's a lot of things involved in my job working with modern day cars. And the oldest cars we sell are about 10 years old, the oldest ones that we have. But the vast majority are only about 3, 4, 5 year old. As I said, we do sell some older ones, but so I'm working with pretty modern cars, you know, nearly new cars all day, day in, day out. And doing that job, you get to see things about modern day cars that are just so damn annoying. And for me, probably the most annoying thing with modern day cars is all the constant bings and bongs. Bing, 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 bong, bong, bong. It's like, oh my God, will you shut up? Now, obviously, one of them is like the seatbelt warning. You know, if you're driving a car around on the pitch at work, you don't put your seatbelt on. You go above like 10 mile an hour and it starts binging at you for not having your seatbelt on. Now, admittedly, my Astra does that. My Astra's a 2009, and that's got the seatbelt warning thing on it. But obviously, that's my own car. So when I'm driving that, I do obviously put my seatbelt on. But on the odd occasion, I've moved it at work with the seatbelt off, and it started bonging at me. It's like, oh, will you shut up? You know what I mean? It's just so annoying. So annoying. But some cars are definitely worse than others. And I think I've come to the conclusion that the worst cars on the road today in the UK for the annoying bings and bongs are Nissans, namely the Qashqai and the Duke. They are terrible for bings and bongs, but especially the Qashqai. Oh my God. And Mitsubishis. I photographed a few Mitsubishis like the Eclipse and the Outlander, and oh my word, bongs that they do, it's just like so absolutely friggin' annoying. It's like bing, 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 bong, 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 bing, bing, bing. It's like, oh God, will you shut up? Another one of the most annoying cars as well is Renault. Clios, Captures, whatever. And also the modern day Datchas as well, because they do the same thing. Where you're trying to picture a car, or you're trying to clean a car, and you shut the door with the key in your pocket, and you walk like 2 foot away and it locks. And it goes beep beep, and it locks. And you're like, for fuck's sake, I ain't finished with you yet. I'm in middle of cleaning you. You know, because sometimes I'll be wiping a car down. If it's been outside and it's got wet, and it might just need a fresh little bit of a wipe over, you know, before I take my photos. And every 2 seconds it's just auto locking itself, and you don't want to leave the keys in the car, because obviously you don't want to leave the keys in the car in case, you know, it goes and locks the keys in, because I've known that to happen. I have actually known that to happen, where the keys have got locked in. It shouldn't happen, but these are modern cars that do stupid things at times, you know. Just slow down to 60 for the cameras, even though I've got a stupid van behind me who doesn't seem to realise how cameras work. Speed up a bit now to get rid of him. Get right across into my lane when I'm coming off. But one of the other mega annoying things with a lot of modern cars, it's like you can't even replace a part on them without having to tell the ECU you've fitted a new bit. It's like, what? Like, if I fit a new piece to this, to the engine, it's not like I fitted a new fuel injector, or I fitted a new airflow meter, or I fitted a new, I don't know, idle control valve or something. That's all I'd have to do, is just fit it. But most modern cars, you have to plug them into a computer and tell them, oh, by the way, I fitted a new one. That's like, what? Eh? Like yesterday, one of the guys at work were fitting a new particulate filter. Get this, a petrol particulate filter. Don't ask me. On a, what were it? An Audi. I'm sure it were an Audi. A6. And after he fitted it, he couldn't start the engine until he'd plugged in the diagnostics and told the engine that it had just had a new one fitted. It's like, what? We had a problem with a BMW as well. A 1 Series, a fairly new 1 Series, like a 70 plate. So like a pretty new one, only about 3-year-old. And it had to have a new set of clocks. You know, the dash clocks, the speedo and everything. 800 odd quid for a set of dash clocks. You know what I mean? Speedo, rev counter, etc. 800 odd quid. And they had to be fitted at the dealer because they had to be then programmed in to work with the car. Fucking dickhead. Did you see that then? Well, obviously saw it because it's on camera. Oh god, the level of stupidity with some people, can you believe it? I'm glad I caught that on camera. Because, oh god, that's dumbass number 2 today. Why on earth would you stop in that position blocking Oak Road off? What goes through people's brains? Oh god. I think that's the problem, you see. That's why these modern day cars have got so many bings and bongs and warning chimes and everything. It's because people are fucking, sorry, pardon my French, people are flipping stupid. I don't mean to swear on these videos, by the way. It's just sometimes I get so chuffing wound up that I end up swearing. And it's not very professional, I know, but let's burn off the hybrid. Bye bye. I'm not burning off the Merc though, because he's quite a fast Merc. But you know what I mean? It's like, that's the reason that modern cars have got so many bings and bongs on them. It's because people are stupid. So they need reminding, oh, by the way, your door's open. Oh, by the way, your lights are on. Admittedly, that's one thing Orwin does have. It has a headlights warning buzzer. So that's one thing Orwin does have. So he is guilty of having at least one buzzer. But that is genuinely a useful one. You know, you get out of the car, you've accidentally left your lights on, fair enough. But all these other ones, oh, they're just made for people who are stupid. It's like another thing as well when I'm taking photos of cars. I'll have the engine running and I'll position the car in one particular position to do a photo. Then I'll get out of the car, do a picture, get back in, reposition it, do another picture, reposition it, do another picture. And I'll do that several times, you know, getting the car from different angles. And some cars, because you've got the engine on and you open the door, it'll set to you engine on, and it'll like go bing ding ding just because you've opened door. It's like, yeah, I've opened door because I'm chuffing doing something, but the car will start panicking, thinking, oh no, you're leaving the car and you've left the engine on, what on earth are you doing? You can't do that. And it's like, oh god, shut up. Try to remember what it were. It was a Seat. Were it a Seat? I think it were a Leon that did that. I think it were. I don't know, I can't remember now. I picture that many cars, they all just blur into one. I'm having a proper rant, aren't I? But it's like, oh, there is a lot of good things on modern day cars, you know. Alright, they're quiet, they're comfortable, they're safe, you know, they've got all these electronic safety devices and ABS and traction control and anti-skid control and emergency brake assist and what do you call it? That one where it senses if you're falling asleep. That one if if it senses you're falling asleep. I can't remember what it's called now. So there is a lot of good things on modern cars, but for me, I prefer old school. I prefer simple. I prefer basic. I mean, this has got fuel injection, but it's a very old school 1980s, 90s fuel injection, you know. And I like having fuel injection because it makes it usable as a daily driver. I don't know if I'd want to daily drive a Mark II Cav that had a carburettor, because I don't know, carbs, they can freeze up in winter and have all sorts of running problems. I do remember back in the day when I drove my Novas that had got carburettors, and I do definitely prefer having fuel injection. Just gives you that extra level of reliability and certainty. I think, you know, a car with carb, like my Manta's got a carb, that's the only one I've got that's got a carburettor. All the others are fuel injected. And I don't know if I'd want to use my Manta in winter on a cold day, but I don't know. I probably would. Got to get it on road first, but I just prefer old school. I prefer simple, very few electronics, if any electronics, you know. Keep it simple, keep it old school. Another thing I hate with modern cars, or certain modern cars, is the steering. I drove a Fiat 500 yesterday over to a body shop because it needs quite a lot of paintwork, this particular car. And I drove it over to a body shop, and at high speed it's got that kind of steering that like locks in the central position. So at high speed it felt like it was just forcing itself to go straight, but it just feels horrible in your hands. The feel of the steering feels horrible in your hands. I remember the first car I drove that had got that kind of steering was a Corsa C. My dad had a Corsa C, and I really did not like the steering on it. You know, that I've driven them since and they don't seem as bad as I remember, and there's a lot of modern cars which are definitely way worse. But yeah, that kind of power steering where it just, because it's electronic power steering, and it stiffens up and it holds it in that central straight on position, and it just feels horrible to drive. Oh, it's just horrible. Now give me old school any day, Anyway, guys, I'll probably do another follow-up video to this because I'll think of other things that I hate about modern cars. There's probably things I hate about old cars as well, to be fair, but I definitely prefer old school. So until next time, thanks a lot for watching. Take it easy. Please like, browse, subscribe, all the usual bits. I meant to say browse, not blouse, by the way. Oh God, I can't speak this morning. Oh, I'm done. See you later, guys. Bye.